What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Wealth Not Wait. I am your host, as always, Joseph Coizza, and on this episode of Financial Friday, we are talking about what we can learn from this recession and why it's so important to be in control of your finances. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you like content like this. It lets me know that you enjoy it, so I'm going to keep doing it. But yeah, so very briefly, we're just going to talk about why it's so important to be in control of your finances and know what's going on. As we learned from this recession, a lot of people are getting hurt from situations like this. And now it's not entirely like you can't exactly plan for something that's the unplanned, but you can be prepared for an emergency. That's why you need to have an emergency fund. You start off with at least $1,000, and then after you get yourself situated, you take out all your debt, you start investing in all that, then you move it to 3 to 6 months worth of an emergency to cover all your expenses, because you don't know what's going to happen. In situations like this, everybody goes, oh, 6 months? That's a lot, isn't it? Well, look, we're going on our second month already, like a quarantine type of thing. And, maybe 3 or 4 months before we go through all this. And then if you're out of a job, it may take another couple months to figure it out. So that's why it's important to have a good emergency fund. And also, everybody likes taking out loans. Everybody likes financing things and just being like, listen, I could pay it off. It's only $500 a month. It's only $500 this. I could pay it monthly. I could do 20 bucks. It's dumb to do it. That's just basically the best way to put it before I go into a whole tangent about it. And I mean, it's my show. I can do what I want. But before I go into a whole tangent about it, the whole situation is it's just fucking stupid to be like, you know what? I can take out a mortgage, take out a car, take out student loans and do all this and just pay it off monthly. It's a lot better it's a lot tougher, granted, for a lot of people. I understand some people are like, oh, you can't, some people just can't afford it. It's all about perspective. No, it's not all about perspective. It's about numbers. Okay, at the end of the day, it's what it is. You just got to sit there and look at the numbers. What makes sense numbers-wise? And with things like financing, it doesn't make sense numbers-wise, because somebody now, maybe they still are working, but their hours are cut. Maybe they're not working now and they can't afford to pay for that car. They can't afford to get places. When things get up and running again, you can't afford to pay for that car. Even though maybe now they're forgiving some stuff, maybe now you can't get evicted because of certain things like that. And they are starting to forgive rents and mortgages. And, just recently they started to do that. So even though you may have been out of work for 2 or 3 weeks now already, only now is that starting to get forgiven. So you could already be in a bit of a bad way. And then after the situation, when that situation is not happening anymore and they are able to evict you, you may not be on your feet, or they may now be able to collect your car, and again, you may not be back on your feet, and they're like, oh, well, hey, you have 2 payments to make. How are you going to pay us? It's, $1,000 now. So that's not $500 a month now, it's $1,000. They don't care whether you lost your job or not unless mandated by the government. Okay, I haven't seen any company willingly go out of their way, and let me know, I could be wrong, but I've not seen any company willingly go out of their way to go, you know what, right now, we are forgiving literally everything, unless if 1 benefits them or 2 is mandated by the government. I've seen companies be like, oh, look, they're forgiving everybody's rent. It's just like, yeah, because if they didn't, then half their fucking people would be out, and then they get fucked as a company. They have to forgive everybody's rent for 2 months. They have to, okay, don't pay it and tag it on the end of your lease, if you're renting for a house or you're renting for a business or whatever. And then this is another thing. I've seen a lot of people who, especially the Tampa Bay area, have recently opened up businesses and now they have to shut down. There was one place, it's like, I've been open for 3 days and I ended up getting shut down. I didn't realize all this was going on. I set the start date months in advance. We had it set up. I financed everything. I set it on going. And it seems like he'll be okay because he's a little optimistic about it. But a lot of restaurants, a lot of places won't be because, they can't afford to keep those doors open. And a lot of them also take out a lot of financing. They take out business loans and they do stuff so that way they get the money now instead of saving up and building towards it. I understand it's a lot harder and save and build up to get to that point, but it's a lot better for situations like this because nobody anticipates, a complete country worldwide shutdown for 3 months. Nobody ever anticipates that, but guess what? It happens, you have a financial crisis, the whole world is in ruins. You have a depression, you have a war, you have a virus, you have a famine, you have a drought, you have fucking frogs falling from the sky, you have something. And nobody really thinks about that until it's too late. That's why people over leverage themselves, and that's when we get hurt. And finally, it's just good to be in control of your finances, especially now you're able to budget. Say you don't have an income, you're able to budget more. You already cut down to your bare minimums for things like food and, electricity, housing. You're not over living in housing. So you're like, okay, I'm already in a pretty good way. I'm already at my minimums. I can now do this. I can, if need be, I can have money or, hoard money, get into the savings and take money and put it towards my rent and put it towards the necessities that I need because I'm already living on a good amount, and I'm not over living and overspending and living in $1 million home when I make, $800,000 a year or something like that. I pay $1 million a year in rent. I'm not over living my expenses. Or on a smaller scale, probably like, $12,000 a year on rent, and you're only making, $8,000 a year. I'm just saying. But you're not over leveraging yourself, and you're in control of your budgets. Therefore, you're in control of your spending, and you're able to spend and allocate things better, especially in situations like this. So that's it. This is just a quick video. I just want to remind everybody why it's so important to be in control of their finances. A lot of people, especially people my age, don't really think about that. They're like, man, why are you investing and fucking doing all this dumb shit with money, and you don't know this, and later on in life I could worry about that. It's important to get in control of your situation right now, no matter what age you are. If you're fucking 10 years old, get in control of whatever money and whatever situation you got going on. Okay, if you're 30 years old, get in control of your situation, start going on. Basically from what I'm talking to, a lot of people don't really get interested in this until they're in like 30 to 35-ish, the average age being about 32, 33. When people start getting interested in investing and saving and budgeting, because then you're out of that college age, you're out of the carefree 20s kind of thing, and then you're starting to settle down and have a family, looking to buy a home, get a car, your car just broke down on you, you need to figure something out, and you're starting to look at all that money because you realize it's so important. But the earlier you start, the better. It's never too late to start, but the earlier you start, the better. And in situations like this especially, if no matter what age you are, you're affected by a situation like this with the virus and everything going on. So you understand it's very important to get in control of your money and get in control of your situation, so that way you can take care of things when something like this arises or some other issue arises, or just to be better off. So let me know what you guys thought about this. Are you in control of your financial situation? If not, and you do watch my content, why are you not? Okay, that's basically the question is, go back, watch the other 44, 45 videos we got going on, and learn something about how to take control of your finances, and possibly pick up a book. The book especially, that's like the, my holy grail of the way of expressing how you should handle your finances. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace.